Hey guys, Steve Trowbridge here. So, probably one of the most popular topics in wrestling right now, especially in WWE, is the topic of Cena becoming a 16-time world champion and tying Ric Flair's record, and possibly even breaking Ric Flair's record. Does he deserve it? Will it happen? Yada yada yada. And to answer those things quickly, it's going to happen. Whether you love him, whether you hate him, whether you're in between, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. He's gonna. There's no doubt in my mind that it's not going to happen. That he's going to tie Ric Flair's record, which you'll see why I'm using the quotation marks here in a second. But yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that it's going to happen. He's the golden boy of WWE. They're not going to have him, tie Ric Flair's record. It's John Cena. But just wanted to point out something about this. And I know this probably isn't going to be the popular thing to do because, because I'm a mark. But just want to point out something about the 16-time world champion thing. So, Ric Flair is recognized as a 16-time world champion, but what a lot of people probably don't know, and I didn't know until I looked it up like a month ago, or a few months ago, is that Ric Flair he's got more title reigns than just 16. In fact, he is actually a 22-time world champion. He is a 3-time NWA Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Champion, 7-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion, and I knew he was in WCW a lot, so figured he won the world title a lot of times, but 7 times, didn't know the exact number. NWA World Heavyweight Champion 9 times, so already that's WWF World Title 2 times, so already that's WCW, NWA, and WWF. And that is, 21 title reigns. And then the NWA Missouri Heavyweight Championship 1 time. So, technically, Ric Flair is a 22-time world champion, but is only recognized as a 16-time world champion because, I guess, know why, because it's not recognized by WWE or PWI, because PWI is a joke anyways, but whatever. But yeah, not recognized by the big corporations, the big names, because they just want to be really picky about it. They say, gotta be picky, you can only mention certain companies and certain world title reigns. But I just want to get technical. So, technically, Ric Flair is, like I said, technically, he's a 22-time world champion, not just 16. So, technically, John Cena will not be beating the record, even though he is to most wrestling fans. But to me, I like to get technical with certain things, and with this, I most certainly love to get technical because I've stated multiple times, I'm not a fan of John Cena. I don't really care for his, what he provides as entertainment. He provides entertainment-wise. Don't really care for him as a wrestler. Don't really care for him as a character. That's just me, though. I don't try to tell anyone, who and who not to like. I'm not trying to tell you to not like John Cena. I'm not trying to tell you to like John Cena. That's just my opinion. Just how I feel. But, yeah, so want to get technical with that. And really, another thing I want to point out is Ric Flair won, again, 22-time world champion, but let's just go with 16-time world champion since that's what most fans recognize. He's a 16-time world champion, but he's not a 16-time world champion from the same company. He became a 16-time world champion by being in many other companies, not just the WWF or WWE, like NWA, WCW, other companies like that. And Cena has won, and I know he had the World Heavyweight title, because back when the World Heavyweight and WWE title were separate, but since they're unified now, I'll just count them as the same thing. Specifically with him, especially with him. But Cena has won the world title in WWE 15 times, which for any company, just for a wrestler to win the world title 15 times, it just seems like much. It just seems a little much, a little overboard, a little overkill. I mean, I think the person that's closest to that record is Triple H. I think if it's not Randy Orton, I think it's Triple H, and I believe he has 9 world title reigns, because he won the WWE title earlier this year when he won the Royal Rumble. So yeah, to me that just seems a little bit of overkill, but it maybe shows the favoritism that WWE has shown towards Cena for over a decade now, but whatever. And yet another thing that I want to point out, and I guess at this point I'm just kind of ranting, I guess you could say, or discussing, but a guy like, okay, let's just take AJ Styles, okay? For me, I honestly, I have more respect for AJ Styles, because AJ Styles is truly a seasoned, traveled veteran in wrestling. You can't say that AJ Styles isn't a veteran in wrestling just because he's only been in WWE for almost a year now. I mean, he's been all over the world, ROH, TNA, PWG, Japan, He's pretty much done everything there is to do in wrestling, A lot of other wrestlers have too, but I just wanted to use AJ Styles as a specific example. Done everything, won a ton of world titles. I believe his world title reign technically is like in the 20s as well. But yeah, I mean, he's been to pretty much, I mean, not every single wrestling company, but I mean, he's been to a shit ton of wrestling companies. Like I said, WWE, TNA, ROH, PWG, Japan, and other wrestling companies. Countless other wrestling companies, and won titles in all of them. Whereas Cena has really only wrestled in WWE. Like, I think he wrestled in, I want to say, UPW for a year, maybe. It wasn't very long. And then eventually he went to OVW, which was WWE developmental territory, so I still count that as being in WWE, since it's technically a developmental territory for WWE. And then eventually in 2002, he made his debut on SmackDown against Kurt Angle. So, Cena, and I'm going to get shit for this I'm probably going to get shit for this, because people are just like, well, you got to respect Cena because he's shown up every, he's been loyal, and he's, worked his ass off for, 14 years straight. And while I do agree with that, it is a little bit kind of like, well, what's really the big deal? I mean, yeah, he's shown up to work, for the company he works for. He's shown loyalty. He's worked hard. So, yeah, he's been an employee. That's what any employee for a big corporation or company should do. Typically is show up to work and work hard and show loyalty. So I'm supposed to have this huge I respect all the wrestlers. I respect anyone who, works hard for the company that they work for and shows loyalty and all that stuff. But I'm supposed to have all this respect for Cena because he's done what he's supposed to do. He's, I don't really understand. But nonetheless, yeah, I mean, he has earned the respect, but still, I mean, he's only really ever wrestled in WWE. I mean, he's wrestled pretty much the same style that since the same style he's pretty much always wrestled. I mean, he's added a few moves to his arsenal, but eh. And sometimes, and half the time, those moves that he added don't even look that good. But, anyways, I got off topic, but yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Since the PWI and WWE are too picky to, actually point out everything, and not just ignore shit. So I'm probably going to be in the extreme minority. I've got friends who are fans of Cena, and again, that's fine. I'm not telling anyone not to like Cena. I'm not telling anyone who to be a fan of. I'm just giving my opinion, and I just wanted to point this out because it's been a popular topic, when it pertains to wrestling, and I thought maybe this would be a little interesting. But yeah, so that's it for this one, I guess. Let me know what you think, and yeah, so that's it for this one, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.